What's up, YouTube? Your boy Thrift Ninja's back. Okay, so my first video I put out, it was a trip to Goodwill, just a quick haul, and it's my first video that I put out, like I said, and I had a lot of fun with it. So I figured what I would do is I would do like a what sold for the month video, and so tallying it up, it looks like I sold 65 items this month. And let's just kind of go over them, and so you guys can see what sells and about how much it's selling for, and kind of know what the profit margins are. Let's go. Let's start off. Well, before I do, I'll say that this is going to be a pretty long video, so there might be a part 1 and a part 2, so just kind of keep an eye out for that. This just sold today while I was at lunch. It's a Porsche men's extra large black cotton sweater. If you're not familiar with this brand, Porsche, then I don't know where you've been hiding. But anyways, the clothing line is pretty sought after, and it's super high quality merchandise. Anyways, it sold for $94.99. That was my buy it now, and I had a best offer, but they just straight up bought it for $95. I have $2 into it. So after eBay takes their fees and PayPal and shipping, I mean, we're still looking at still a pretty good profit on it. Next up, well, no, how about I tell you where I got them from? That way you can kind of know what stores have like the better stuff. This actually came from American Council of the Blind, which is a local thrift store, nonetheless, but just their shirts were $2 a piece, so not a lot of risk at that shop for me when I buy clothing from there. Next up is a CocaCola Have a Coke wall mount bottle opener. I think I overpaid for this one. I got it at Goodwill a few weeks ago, and I paid $6 for it, and I knew it would be a quick sell, but I really did, the profit really, I think I made $5 or $6 off it. But I sold it for $19.99. It had a best offer option. Again, it sold for $19.99, which was my asking price. So again, after fees, shipping, PayPal fees and all, it was about $5.76 in profit. Not bad. But again, if you're calculating your time and effort as far as listing, shipping, everything that goes along with it, try to look for things that are more than $6 profit. That's really all I gotta say about that. Next up is vintage copper Chevron drawer pulls. I believe I got these at a garage sale last summer, and it was in a little coffee can, and it's just full. It looks like it was original to the house, and the people that just redid their hardware, and they just threw them in this coffee can, and they were really dingy looking and corroded, and so I took them home. I thought they were brass actually, and I put them in vinegar and let them set for a while, and salt and vinegar, and I pulled them out, and they were the shiniest copper I'd ever seen, and they were beautiful, just gorgeous. And anyways, I think I got like 54 of them in this bucket, and the bucket had $4 on it, and I was more than willing to pay that, but I think it was on a Saturday later in the day, and the lady that was running the garage sale said everything is half off. So I got this bucket of 54 drawer pulls for $2. $2, right? So I went online. I started doing some research after I cleaned them up, and they sell anywhere by themselves, just one drawer pull, about $20 to $25 a piece. So I was like, jackpot, I've got 54 of these. So I did a listing for all 54 at once, buy it now, and it was like $1,000. Because if you calculate the price, 20 something times 50. Anyhow, I had a lot of watchers and a lot of people requesting to buy individual pulls. So I waited until the month ended, which was a 30-day listing, and I changed it up because I didn't sell any, but I ended up having like 15 or 20 watchers on it. So I knew they were pretty sought after. So what I did was I changed the listing to be you could buy 1, 2, as many as you'd like, and I lowered the price actually to $14.99 a piece, which is one of the lower, if not the lowest, price per this drawer pull on eBay, and I'm steadily selling them. So I sold one for $14.99 on the 28th, and as we go through, you'll see that I've sold quite a few more. But anyways, that was a great find. That was probably one of my better finds, and I just didn't expect it to be that expensive or that valuable of an item. So you just never know. You never know. So just kind of look into that kind of stuff whenever you pass by it. Drawer pulls and knobs, anything kitchen hardware, bathroom hardware related is pretty sought after because people like to change that up. If you don't want to redo your entire kitchen, you can change those handles and it makes your kitchen look completely different. All right, moving on. Next, I sold a men's Nikedrifit full zip track jacket. I had it listed for $28 or best offer, and instead of offering anything to me, they just straight bought it for $28. Again, I appreciate that. I always like when that happens. But Nike does well, especially the sizes. I believe this was a size, let me double check. I think it was a 2XL. So keep an eye out for some of the larger sizes out there. Moving on. Well, you know what? I didn't tell you how much I had in that one. That jacket I paid $3.25 for at the Goodwill here, and so I believe after fees and all that, it was like a $15 profit. Next, this was an item that I've had for quite a while. It's it's vintage, but it was a handmade belt buckle that had a ceramic cameo in the center of this belt buckle, and it was a local artist from around here, like a Cowboy artist. And anyways, I saw it and I was like, either someone's gonna love this or I'm gonna have it for a really long time. Turns out I had it for almost a year listed, and I've had it varying prices. I listed it higher when I first had it, and I just gradually lowered it throughout the year, and I finally got it down to $9.99, and someone bought it. But so $3 and $9.99. Just sometimes, just if you see an item that you've never seen before, even though I didn't get a lot of return on it, I would much rather take the gamble and maybe get something that's like a really good find. You never know. I mean, eBay's a different animal. It's an odd creature, and so sometimes an item like that might have, for the right person, sold for $50. But in this instance, it didn't, and so. But I'm not going to shy away from taking a risk on an item like that. It was a cool piece. So, but I am glad to see it go. It was sitting in my storage for way too long. Next up is a pair of Jobo Tasman Glacier sunglasses. I sold them for $75. My family, we went to Pagosa Springs, Colorado on a vacation, and there was a high-end thrift store there where they didn't, it was almost like consignment, but they had really like high-end items there, but these glasses were only $5. So they were at the counter. I was about to check out, and I saw them, and I'd never seen these glasses before, but I just typed it in while they were ringing me up on my into eBay, and they came up pretty valuable. And so I picked them up. So for $5, turned into $75. that was a good one. So moving on to the next one. This was a Marshall University Thundering Herd pullover windbreaker. I believe it was an extra large. So you just never know about college stuff. It could sit there for a while. It could sell quick, just depending on how that school's doing in sports, or even like this is a pullover, so it might be like a winter item that someone would like. But I've had this. This was one of the first clothing pieces that I bought last year. At the beginning of the year, I didn't buy any clothing. I waited until I want to say after summer to really start loading up my clothing inventory. So really with the focus on jackets and long sleeve items, sweaters like this. I don't know if you can see this. This is a really cool sweater. I'm a huge Cowboys fan, and this is Emmitt Smith. You probably know that guy. He's a pretty popular player in his time. Check this out. 1996. So there's cool stuff out there. If you just got to go and look. It's I guess people say you can't win lottery unless if you don't play. You can't find cool stuff like this if you don't go out there and look for it. So, anyways, that pullover sold for $25 again. I'd had it for a while, and I'd lowered it and lowered it and lowered it and lowered it. Marshall University is not an item. I live in Texas, so Marshall University is not an item that I'm going to see a lot in this area. So to me, it was unique. You know, I was like, wow, I'm not going to see this again. And but it was still a quality piece. I thought it was cool and picked it up. Like I said, had it for buy it now, $25 or best offer. Sold it for my asking price, full price, $25. Again, I love when that happens. Moving on. Next, we have a Polaroid Zip Zink Zero Ink Mobile. Okay, it's a Bluetooth printer for your phone. I got it at there's a local women's shelter that has a thrift store. They actually have a couple of them. They have one for clothing and larger items and kitchen items, and then they have one down the street, which is like a block away. It's called the same thing, Thrift City 2, TOO though. Anyways, they had it for $15. I actually bought it because I thought I might want it for myself, so I paid up for it. But after thinking about it, I was like, I'm probably not going to use this. So I turned around and I listed it for, I want to say $54.99 or best offer. And I got an offer of $45, and I turned around and counter offered $48, and they took it. So 15 into 48, not bad, especially for a printer that I mean, honestly, it probably would have just sat around and I wouldn't have used it. But still, cool item. Pairs up, syncs up with your phone, and prints photos on the go. Pretty cool. Next up, another item that I was going to keep for myself was these U.S. Army Goretex camo pants. These are really cool because you put them over your regular clothing when you go outdoors, and they keep you warm, they keep you dry. And I actually think these were Army issued, but they were my size, and I do a lot of outdoor fishing, and I go. My family has a place up in the mountains where we go, and so anyways, I could have used them, but I thought, what the heck, I'll list them. I paid $2 for them. Sold them for $29.99. Again, had a best offer. They didn't submit a best offer. They just outright bought it. So, not bad. $2 into $29. $29.99. Next up is a Kesha tank top. And anything that's like musician related, especially concert tees, I'm gonna pick them up. The older ones are obviously more valuable, and then you look for people that are popular now. So evidently Kesha's pretty popular. And anyways, it's sold to a guy in Florida, which makes sense because it's a tank top and they actually have warmer weather than we do up here. But anyways, funny story about this. I sometimes, items that are small like this that I can package in a first class envelope, I'll just put them in my mailbox, and when the USPS comes by to drop off our mail, I let them pick that up. Well, the guy had the same name as me, same first name, and so the mailman took all the other packages that I had in the mailbox and left that one. I don't know why. I don't know why. But again, I paid, I want to say it was either $2 or $3 for it, and I sold it for $14. I believe that was the best offer I took, because I may have had it for $19.99 or $15.99. I can't remember. But I accepted the best offer of $14. So, and it's another one of those things that it's such a light item that you don't have to pay a lot for shipping. So I'm more willing to take a lower offer on a lighter item because I'm not going to have to pay up on the shipping. Moving on, I was so glad to see this one go. This was a G.I. Joe's Greatest Battles DVD. Man, I bought this probably March of last year, and I watched it. It wasn't great. It wasn't the older one that I would watch as a child. It was actually kind of a newer one. I'd had it for varying prices, and lots of watchers, people would watch it nonstop, but they would just never click to buy. So I actually just kept lowering the price until it was gone. Unfortunately for me, it got down to $6.99, and I had it on a listing that was automatically renew every month. So, and every time it does that, it would cost me 35 cents. Well, it added up to quite a bit of insertion fees, and so I bought it for $3, which I overpaid. On DVDs, you should probably stick to 50 cents or $1 if you're going to try to resell them. Anything over that is just, it eats into your profit, because DVDs, not a lot of people are willing to pay up for them, depending on what it is. This one, I sold it for $6.99. So at the end of the day, after what I paid for it, fees on eBay, PayPal, shipping, it ended up costing me $2.30 to send it to this person. Which, whatever. Sometimes you take a hit, and no biggie. You should never want to lose money, but it was one of those deals where I just want to get rid of it, and maybe he'll give me a feedback, and that helps me out. Feedback's always good to have, especially positive feedback. But anyways, I will never buy that DVD ever again. Next up was a pretty cool find at an estate sale. It's a USA Dream Team David Robinson champion jersey, and it was from the '96 Olympics, I believe, in Atlanta. But anyway, the way I found out about the estate sale was local Facebook, and this company that does it posted quite a few pictures of what they had available at that estate sale. And so I swiped over to the man's closet, and I saw a Michael Jordan jersey in the front. I saw this jersey in front, and so I was like, okay, when they let me in, I'm going to go straight to that and get the jersey, and then I'll circle back and see what else is available. I already gave away the surprise, but anyways, when I pulled it off the rack, there was a Michael Jordan champion jersey right behind it, and which sold right before Christmas. But this one sold for 35 bucks. And I paid $5 a piece for those jerseys. And I bought a few other things too from there. So that was a really good estate sale. I always love estate sales because it's usually really good quality merchandise that it's not going to end up at a thrift store. You know, it's going to be something that I don't know how to explain it. It's just it's good stuff at estate sales. Just trust me on that one. But again, $5 into $35. I want to say that I had it for $39.99 and I accepted a $35 best offer. So, anyways, he left me feedback already, and super happy with it. It actually fit me, and so I kind of wanted to keep it, but you can only keep so much. As much as I go out and thrift, my closet it actually is overflowing, but my closet would be just. Next up, moving on. This was a shirt. The next item is a Patrick Mahomes Texas Tech men's extra large short sleeve shirt, and this is again an item that I waited to list. I got it at Goodwill, and I actually got 2 of them, and I think I have one listed currently, but I got them, and I waited to see how the Chiefs did in their first playoff game before I posted it or listed it on eBay. There's a few Mahomes shirts already out there available, but I think that they're the ones that you pick your size and color of the shirt you want, and you buy it from there. Mine was already printed, ready to go, and anyways, the Chiefs won their first playoff game and went to the AFC Championship game, and so I was kind of stuck in between waiting to see if they made the Super Bowl or list it the week before the AFC Championship game and sell it then. Because once I was notified that, or I figured out that he won MVP of the league, I thought it doesn't matter. He's already a very popular player, and so I went ahead and listed it, and it sold right away for $30. Again, had a best offer option. They didn't elect to submit me an offer, and purchased it for $29.99. So, anyways, I think I paid $3.25 for this shirt, maybe $3. I think it's somewhere between there, and $3.25 and $3. Next up is a women's Gap logo slouch women's sweatshirt, size XXL. Again, this was an item that I picked out solely focusing on the winter. People wanting sweaters, long sleeve items, jackets. So I saw this because I don't normally buy a lot of Gap stuff. The eBay is saturated with Gap items, so I tend to stay away from those. I want to get more unique items, and Gap's just not unique. But it was a sweater. It was in really good condition, and the size was XXL. So I went ahead and picked it up, and I put a buy it now for $19.99, and they took it. And I want to say that I also paid $3.25 for it because it was at the same Goodwill, and I think that's their prices on their shirts is $3.25. All right, moving on is a vintage Sears Dwell tachometer, and it's from the 60s. This item, it was kind of a low-end sale. I sold it for $16.99, but I didn't really I didn't have anything invested in it. I bought this old train set, and it was just a box, and it had all the train cars in it, the tracks, the controls for it, and this was actually in there, and I didn't even notice it. And I get home, and I was like, this doesn't even go to a train. So I listed it for what similar items are listed for on eBay, and it sold for $16.99. Again, I had nothing into it, so after shipping and fees, I mean, $16.99 is not a big sale, but again, nothing into it. All right, moving on. This was the next item I purchased was sold was from Target. It was right before Christmas, and I was trying to get some retail arbitrage in, and it's a Skylanders Trap Team Dark Edition starter pack. So if you go to Target, a lot of times they'll clearance out a lot of items, and this happened to be an online return, which tend to be marked down significantly more than what their regular clearance is, because their clearance is usually a few bucks off a regular price, or sometimes 50% off. Well, this was regular $120 item, brand new, and they had it on their clearance end cap for $20. So I thought, well, let me look it up. I scanned it using the eBay app, and the only one listed was for $120. So I thought that was not much risk, so I paid $20 for it, and thinking I was going to sell it before Christmas. I did not. And people tend to spend a lot more during December and November, so my prices are usually a little higher than what they normally would be. So I had it for $119.99, and it didn't sell before Christmas. It actually sold almost a month after Christmas and I took a best offer of $80. So still, that's a $60 profit. Granted, I mean shipping and all that, so probably down more like $40 profit. But it was a brand new item, and I love picking up brand new items because you know that there's nothing wrong with them. So you don't have to list a flaw or test it or anything. It was a sealed box, and so it was easy to just set it up when you get home, set it up, take pictures, store it, move on. You don't have to, unlike clothing, used clothing, you got to take the lint roller, put it on your mannequin or your bust, get the perfect picture, multiple angles. No, this was an item that had stock photos. So even though I wish it would have sold for $120, $80 is not bad, especially the effort, the minimum amount of effort it took to get this item listed. I'll take that all day long. Next up is a men's Banana Republic, just a plain basic zip-up jacket. Again, this is whenever I was loading up on winter clothes. It was a cheap buy. I think I got it for $3.25. But I really didn't want to buy it because it was a size men's size small, and men's size small is like a tough item to sell, because they can actually go into a store and easily find their size, whereas someone that's an XL, 2XL, 3XL, 4XL, it's going to be more difficult for them to go into a store and find a quality item that's their size. So they're going to go to eBay and find it. And so, but small, it's tough. But Banana Republic's a good brand, and it was a jacket, and I was just trying to focus on the winter. So, anyways, $3.25. I sold it for $30, and I think I had it listed for $34.99. I took the best offer of $30. So, it fit in. Well, it actually fit in one of these size 5 padded envelope. The cool story about these is I went to a garage sale, and I went in there to buy some stuff. I actually bought a VCR DVD combo, and on the way to pay out, this guy had all his I noticed he had his merchandise packed up on all these boxes, and they had labels on them that said Bubble Mailer 5, number 5, and number 7. And I thought, man, did he use all those? Because I would love to have those. Size 5 is my favorite size. You can fit a lot of different things in there. If it's like, you can fit DVDs, anything. And a lot of times, especially with something that's like plastic, you double it over like this, and it's almost like extra protection for it. So, yeah, I love this size. Size 7 is good for like larger hoodies and stuff like that, but a size small jacket actually fits in a size 5 sometimes. But anyway, so as I was paying out, I asked the guy about it. I was like, hey, do you have more of these or what? And he said, yeah, my wife actually, she's a reseller. And I thought, oh gosh, what? Okay, here we go. Another reseller who knows I'm a reseller, and here we go. He's gonna gouge me, or we're not gonna make a deal. And anyways, he said, I will sell you a box of the size 5, 50. No, 7. The number 7s, they came in boxes of 50, and then the size 5s, they came in boxes of 100. And I don't know if you've ever gone to Office Depot, Walmart, anywhere that sells office supplies, and look at the prices on these things. They're stinking expensive, like anywhere from like $1 a piece to $3, $4 a piece. And so I fully expected when he said that he would sell me some to pay $50, and he said $7 a case. And I was like, hold on, $7? Yeah, let me get a few of those cases, and let me call some of my reseller friends, and you can get rid of the rest of these. And so he said, oh, there's no way they can buy all these because we have a warehouse full of them. Okay. Let me have your number, and I will call you again. And sure enough, he gave me his number, real super nice guy. And he said, whenever you run out or you get low, call me and come pick them up. $7 a piece. So, I mean, it really goes to show, sometimes they're between all the resellers. Some people, you're probably not going to get along with, but the majority of people out there that are resellers know the struggle that you're going through, and they're willing to help you out. So never feel scared or shy to talk to somebody that's a reseller, because they can give you a lot of advice, or they will even, again, cut you a deal on padded envelopes. I mean, this is awesome. I use these literally every single day. Anyways, moving on from that story. Did I finish talking about that? The jacket? Did we beat that horse? Yes, we're done with it. Okay, moving on. Next up was a New Kids on the Block Greatest Hits DVD. Again, I don't normally like to sell DVDs, but if I can get them for a cheap price, or the subject matter is just something too cool, like the 80s and 90s right now is pretty hot. So New Kids on the Block, I'm in my 30s, so New Kids on the Block was pretty popular when I was a child, and they still have a pretty big following. But this was their greatest hit DVD video, and so I picked it up for $3, sold it for $13.99, got it at the Goodwill here in town, and again, not a lot of profit, but I could send it medium mail, which is usually about $2.66 to ship it. So it was really cheap, but again, it's one of those deals where the subject matter was too good to pass up, and so yeah, picked it up and made a few bucks off it, and I actually was going to watch it, but it sold before I could even watch it. Moving on to the next one is a Marlboro red solid black check reversible. Okay, anyway, I think that was a terrible description title, but it was really just a pullover fleece that was Marlboro brand, and it was reversible, so it had a cool feature. I paid $8 for it, and whenever I got home, I noticed that there was quite a few listed, and so I probably should have looked more whenever I was in the store, but it was one of those good days that I just kept finding really good stuff and just piling it on my cart, and I thought, well, because usually anything cigarette advertising related is going to sell pretty good. I still did very well on it, don't get me wrong, but $8 is not what I want to get into a garment for, but it sold for $30. I think I had it listed for $32.99 or best offer, and someone offered me $29.99, so I took it, and it was actually, this was a one size fits most, but it was like an XL. It was huge. So I don't think it fit in the number 5, it fit in number 7. So moving on. This one again was we took a trip to Santa Fe, New Mexico, and I went to a Savers there. It was the first Savers I'd ever been to, and they actually had a lot of quality items. But this shirt was no, it wasn't Savers. It was a Goodwill in Santa Fe, because I hit Savers and Goodwill in that same trip. But this one was at a Goodwill, and I found multiple band shirts, mostly Brock metal from the 80s. But this was a Deftones baseball shirt, like a 3/4 sleeves. It was size large. And I got it, and I was like, oh man, this thing is, the neck was tattered. There were holes in the front, back. There was discoloring on the sleeves. And I thought, man, what did I do? I spent money on this, shirt that's just all destroyed. And anyways, so I get it home, and I'm looking at comps, and I was like, wow, vintage Deftones shirts actually do pretty good. So I thought, well, how about highlight the flaws of the shirt and make it seem vintage, which it was. It was vintage, but I think it was from the 90s. But anyways, I took the normal pictures that I do, which if you see there, that form I got is from Eddie Bauer. Funny story how I acquired that was my wife said, hey, we're having family photos. Go get a shirt. So I went to Eddie Bauer, and as I'm checking out, I see an employee walking out with fixtures. And I thought, why is she doing that? And so I asked the guy, I was like, hey, are y'all cleaning the house? And he said, dude, we are trying to get rid of so much of our old display stuff. We've literally put a listing on Facebook for people to come pick it up, and they won't come pick it up. And I said, well, I'll take a look at what you have. So I went back there. They were super nice about it. I went to their stock room, and there were a couple managers there, and they said, here's the stuff we're trying to get rid of. Take what you like. And there were a lot of things that I could have used, but I really needed the form. So they let me have it for free, and which was amazing, because that's helped my selling a lot. Because if you can get your shirt, because most shirts that don't have a lot of detail, they look a lot better on a form. Shirts that are like real intricate, that you need to see like on your cover shot, it's sometimes best to lay them flat. Like if you see something on the sleeve and you want to kind of fold it over, or the buttons are really ornate, sometimes laying it down flat and taking a picture of that and making that your cover photo shows a lot more and is more attractive. But like a plain shirt like this, just like has one side graphic, a bust does wonders for it, or a form, or whatever you call it out there, a mannequin, a dummy. So anyways, I believe I paid $2 for this shirt, and it ended up selling for $30. I think I had it for listed it for $34.99 or best offer, and the guy right away came at $30, and I thought, I'm kind of scared that no one else is gonna want this tattered shirt, so I took it right away, and I'm sure he's super happy with it, because he went in pretty high on a bid, and I even highlighted that I took more pictures of this shirt than I normally do. I usually take the front, and I come in kind of close and kind of focus on like the graphic, and up close to the graphic, or the neck, to show like the detail or what it would look like right here. And then I flip it around, take a picture of the back from far away so you can see the whole shirt, and then I usually just pop the tag out, take a picture of the tag, and move on. But this one, took a picture of the collar where it was tattered, the back of the collar where it was tattered. I kind of highlighted a few of the holes on the front, some holes on the back. There was a picture that was dedicated to the fading on the sleeves, and $30 out of what I say $2. So that was a good deal. Really happy for that one. Moving on. This was a Prada gift box with tissue. This is another item that I bought. I bought a vintage caboodle, and some guys might not know what a caboodle is. Well, I had a sister growing up, and she had a caboodle, and it's basically like a makeup kind of holder, or I don't know, you could put art supplies, whatever you wanted to put in it. But they were super popular, 80s, 90s, and actually I think they made a comeback, because I've seen them at Target, I've seen them at a few other big box stores, so they made a comeback. But anyway, so I bought that, and inside was this Prada gift box. Didn't pay anything for it. So I looked into it, and evidently Prada gift boxes with the tissue do well. So nothing into it, sold it for $18.99. It didn't weigh anything, so shipping was next to nothing. I put it in a number 5 envelope, folded it over, and shipped it out. I think I bought the caboodle for $4. So it definitely got the money back on the caboodle already. The caboodle's still listed. It has watchers here and there. I might have to end up lowering my price, because I think the caboodle's making a comeback, and it's kind of hurt the sales on the older ones, just because some people want to buy them just to kind of remember what they were like when they were a child, or relive the glory days of having a caboodle. And they can get that brand new at the store, and you don't have to get one that's already used. So unless they had that particular color, yeah, it's kind of hurt it. But still, they're still valuable. I mean, you can still sell them $30 to $50 if they're in great shape. So it'll sell, and I'll be happy when it does. All right, moving on. This one and the next item were from the same artist, and I found it in a bin at Goodwill, and kind of took a chance on it, because I've never sold wood carvings before, but I thought they were super neat, especially this first one. This first one was super cool. It was again, I had to type in on eBay a description, wood carving, and hundreds pulled up, hundreds. So evidently this one's like a tree wizard, and but it was super detailed, super cool. I liked it. I wanted to keep it for myself, but I just kind of want to see what it would do. And with items that are like unique, I didn't know how to price it, or I would have listed it as a 30-day listing, buy it now. But again, I didn't know much about it, and I still kind of don't. But I put it on a 7-day auction, and right away it started getting tons and tons and tons of people watching it, because these things are pretty sought after. But again, it's an artist that no one knew. I'm pretty sure it was a local guy. But anyways, it ended up going for $6.49. I paid $2 for it. Didn't get a lot of return. The person they left great feedback on it. They were super happy, because it was a quality item. I mean, the guy carved this wood. It looked like driftwood, and nailed it to like a decorative base. And I mean, I liked it. I was going to put it on our bookshelf, but again, I found it a new home, and it's happy there. So moving on. Next up is, again, from the same artist. This was a driftwood that was carved into a Native American Indian face, and that's usually an item. Any kind of Native American art, especially wood carvings, is pretty sought after. And this one also, again, had a lot of watchers whenever I immediately listed it. I did a 7-day auction, paid $3 for it. So I ended up selling it it ended up ending at $5.99 again. I didn't make a lot of profit on it. If I had to do it all over again, knowing what I know now, I would put a higher buy it now price tag on it, like $50, $60, $70, and wait it out. Because with art, unless it's like a known artist, and you just got to find the right person to buy it. 7-day listing wasn't enough time for someone to come out and find it. So, but again, shipping on both of them, what I did was I listed it the items, the $2 one and the $3 one, exactly what 99 cents more than what I paid for it. And then to protect myself, I priced the shipping based on their location, so they would pay up according to where they lived. So again, I didn't do too bad. I think I made like $5 a piece, maybe nine. I think it was 9 and 5 return on it. But the reason for the higher price shipping was to protect myself, and something like that, it's really delicate, and it's art. So I did the best I could to package it. So I took it, and my wife buys a lot of stuff on Amazon, and because she has her own business, and so I get a lot of packing materials for free from that, or I just recycle, reuse things around the house. That, like, if we buy snacks for the kids, I take that box, I break it down, and I flip it inside out, and it's like a brand new box. So I take this, I wrapped it with the foam wrap, and then I put it inside the box, and I put tissue, or I think it was newspaper, around it, sealed it up pretty good, and sent it out, and they were very impressed with the shipping. Hold on. So next will be, I hear my kid yelling in the back for me, so this was part 1 of the video. Part 2 will be coming out next. Again, if you like this kind of stuff, which I think it's pretty interesting to see what people buy and sell things for. Hey! What's up, buddy?
Gummy bears.
You're watching Gummy Bears? Nice. All right. Well, he might just hang out. So maybe hold that. Maybe. All right. On second thought, I do have to go. But again, subscribe, hit the like button, comment whatever you want to comment. Good, bad, I don't care. Thumbs down, whatever you want to do. Just do you. Again, I'm going to try to do a part 2 of this video at some point in time, probably tomorrow. I'll try to get this edited tonight and get it out there for you guys. But again, Thrift Ninja, see you next time.